Hi writers and welcome in this new early in the morning graffiti video. But as always, coffee first. As always, certainly the lightest writer in the world. Bucket paint and painting tools. Backpack with cans inside, more bucket paint, my shoes, my tripod. That backpack is not a painting backpack. A bag with a panino. Plenty of heavy things. Guten Morgen, dear usual graffiti legal wall. Why I say the graffiti, I don't really know. It's pretty obvious that it's a graffiti wall. Whatever. Good morning. Good morning for real, cause it's 8:30. This is my usual painting spot. First of all, subscribe to the channel and leave a like because it's so important for me and for you. It's for free, it's gratis, so do it please. Anyway, today's plan is quite easy. I'm gonna paint another green piece with the bucket paint that I used for painting these as well. But the core of this painting and of this video is that I have a little amount of time. I will have to leave the wall at 1 p.m. I'm gonna have some company. There will be the classic Erasares and a special guest that I will reveal to you later. But you read it in the title, so there is no need to hide it, actually. I'll paint with Mr. SCAE. So, today we are gonna cross these guys. Dubbio from GMK, Nos from GMK, that here wrote Seok, and then Dovs from GMK crew as well. Well, not requested advice coming, it's always better to divide the space on the wall all together, but since I have no time today, well, I'm gonna take the first place. And even if the piece is easy, today I'm using the first lines technique, making a big tag like the letters are gonna be, in order to catch the proportion and making the real first lines more precise. I made the first lines on the wall, and then I made a super raw and actually imprecise sketch of the V, just to take some proportions with the yellow and those kind of red, since they were the emptiest cans that I had. Now it's time for the sketch itself, the precise one, you know, the hard one for me, with more leftovers. Back hurts. Oh. 80 years old vent is in the place, baby. Anyway.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Now let's finish it. Sometimes I really hate sketching on the wall, because I have to duplicate something that I already like, the paper sketch, and I have to do it very precisely to get it perfect. You know, I already wrote those letters once and it wasn't easy. I fought to obtain that result and now I have to do it again. Well, I hope that one day I will not look at putting the paper sketch on the wall as the hardest thing in graffiti anymore.
Hello, friends and followers!
Finally, Erasares joined me at the wall. Another not requested advice from Mr. Vent. Dear writers, is always really important to choose a color different from the color that's already on the wall to make your sketch. Erasares doesn't know it. Anyway, the sketch is Doner Kebab, aka done. Now it's time to use some roller paint, of course. Oh yeah, because I didn't tell it to you already, but this is another episode of Go Cheap or Go Home. I will also sketch the background for me and Mr. Eras. It's gonna be a sort of a sort of nearly straight stain or something like that, with an outline. And finally, also Mr. SCAE joined the painting. It's such a pleasure to meet him in person and to paint with him. If you don't know him already, check his Instagram, you will not be disappointed. So Erasaris is making the background. Basically, he's making it also for me, which is incredible. Come on, Mr. Erasaris. Sky's the limit. You just have to push. You didn't push enough, to be honest. A lovely Erasaris this morning. Anyway, the purpose is to make the background of the pieces in pink. It's been a while from the last clip that I recorded, actually. I'm not a good YouTuber. With Mr. Ares we had a little bit of a discussion, let's say, to decide what to do inside the background. And as you can see, there's some mess over here because we are a little bit confused, but we ended up doing just this clean pink and a drop shadow with this darker bucket paint. We wanted to do some stripes, but to be honest, it's a long process, and also with the roller, I will admit it, we are not that skilled to make the stripes thin and precise, so we will settle for the drop shadow. Now it's time to fill the piece, because as you can see, Mr. Ares is done with his filling, and also Mr. SCAE is done with the filling. He is doing another color scheme because sadly we didn't have the same colors, but at least we have the same gray background. It's such a pleasure to use again this green orgasmic bucket paint. So, dear writers, as you can see, I've done the first layer. Probably you can't really see it. Whatever, I've done the first layer of bucket paint. I will do a second one because it's a little bit transparent now, but I'll wait it to dry a little bit. Meanwhile, Mr. Ares is making the outline to our background. Mr. Erasaris was doing the outline of the stain in this pinkish color from Hardcore, but while doing it we realized that the beast from Montana Cans would have been way better, because it has more contrast with the feeling of the stain, and in general I think that the beast is one of the best spray paint color ever invented. If you need contrast and brightness, Beast from Montana Cans is a very good choice. This background should have been, easy, because we wanted to do easy stuff. As you can see, I've done a pretty classic style. I think that you can see it right in this moment. But at the end, this background tricked us. The problem is always the same, and is that the background wasn't prepared. We tried many solutions in freestyle, but we will leave it clean with the beast outline. Anyway, in this moment I am doing the second layer of bucket paint filling with my incredible brush. Not the best solution, but to be honest, the roller was definitely worse, so it's fine. Good morning, writers! Day number 2. Hell yeah! Yesterday I was supposed to be done within 1 PM. Sadly, I didn't make it. And since yesterday it was Friday, and so today is Saturday and I'm free, instead of rushing and finishing this piece not properly, I decided that I will divide this painting in 2 days. Which is something that I hate, to be honest. Because basically when I paint, I don't go to the wall. I fucking move to the wall. But honestly, today I don't want to complain that much because I've done worse things. The situation is this one. Mr. SCAE finished. Mr. Ares finished as well. And I have to finish. Lemao, by the way, there are people that are staring at me because I'm talking to a phone while wearing a shirt on my face. As first thing of today, I'm gonna finish the outline of the background that Erasar has started yesterday with the beast. Okay, done. Well, at this point of the piece, usually for me is outline time, but today I want to try a little bit different workflow, because I have to do some drop shadows on the pink for sure, and maybe also on the gray, and I want to try to make them before the outline, because it's a cleaner workflow than the one that I use, and also because it saves spray paint. I'm gonna make the drop shadows on the pink with the plume from Montana Black, because I had this color at home and I noticed it this morning. Otherwise, Ares yesterday did the drop shadows with bucket paint, so dividing the painting in 2 days might have some advantages at the end. Drop shadows done, and by the way, I had a big problem with this can. I don't know if you noticed it, but maybe because there are several paints from different brands mixed in it, and it's a leftover, but well, it sprays, but after a few seconds it stops spraying, which is weird. I have never seen a can doing this. In Italian I would say that sta singhiozzando, but in English I don't know how to say it. Maybe meant from the future will do. By the way, I was using these unknown cap. I don't know what cap is, but his output is really interesting because it's in the middle between a skinny and a standard cap. Now is finally time for the outline, that today is gonna be black. Most of the times I consider the black outline the last solution. I mean, when you cannot do something different from black, you use it because it's the only thing that you can use. But today I have to say, seeing the final result from Ares, that the black is the best solution. Okay, the outline is mostly done, but I'm not precise today. Partly is also fault of the cap, which is a little bit not clean, because it was already used. I could have changed it, I didn't do it, I regret it, but now I will clean all this mess with bucket paint. I know that it's very bad looking at the moment. After a very long work of cutbacks and the repaint stuff and reparation, let's say. Is it a word? I think so. Fixation. I don't know. Anyway, you got me. I'm done. I wanted to be more precise than usual today, but it ended up being the most unprecise day of my life, lemao. But still, the piece is looking quite good, so it's time for adding some overlapping shadows within the piece. I could have done it before the outline, but I forgot it to be honest, and yeah, so I'll do it now. This is the fucking symbol of today's struggle. Anyway, maybe today's struggle is coming to an end since it's time for the effects and the highlights. Provided by this Fluo Clash can from Mr. Ares DFX. The lights also by Mr. Ares, but with the loop, this sort of light yellow, which is named Bratislava. Hi Doki. At the end, I used Napoli from Loop Cans and not Bratislava for making the highlights, because it's more on tone with the filling color. Sorry Doki. As you can see, I'm done over here, so I hope that you liked the video and that you are gonna like the pieces. Thanks to SCAE for joining me and Mr. Ares painting on the wall. It was such a pleasure. Anyway, 2 days of struggling painting look like this. But as always, let's analyze it. It's been a while. So, the structure is classic. V and arrow are bigger than the other letters because I made it as a drop cap. About the letters themselves, this piece is okay, but I can see 4 mistakes that are killing me. First one. The V here is too big and wide, and this makes the V too heavy at the top. Second, the flattened arrow and its extension is too large, especially the structure of the extension. It should have been much thinner. Third, the hole of the E is a bit too big and it makes the E sticks too narrow, especially this one. And also the outline of the hole is very fat. I should have been more precise with it. Fourth and last, the upper stick of the T is not balanced. It is too long on the left side and too short on the right side, so there is too much weight on the left. However, the colors are as basic as nice and the fluo effects turned out as sketchy as I love them. But let's get to the costs of this painting. The bucket paint was for free because taken from the trash. The beast and the cans for the first lines were leftovers. The grey and the green for the shadows were homemade colors that I already had, so I'll not count them as a cost. The fluo, fortunately, is from Ares, so I didn't pay it. And so the only two colors that I actually paid for this piece are the black of the outline and the Napoli loop. So, for making this piece I spent 7.60 euros. Not bad for a proper graffiti production, I mean. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell and leave a like, because for me it's so important and you help me to grow, which is not obvious. Thank you a lot for that, and see you next time, hopefully the next week.